Good morning, scholars and families. Happy Thursday. It is May 7th. Welcome back to another day of guided reading. Happy Sports Day. Most importantly, Miss Rossi has on her Michael Jordan Bulls jersey because, of course, we have a reading group that is the Bulls, and everyone knows Miss Rossi loves basketball. Woo, woo. So I have my Jordan jersey on. If you have a jersey or a sports shirt or a ball, go get it and put it next to you so you could show some spirit for the Spirit Week. Don't forget to send your teachers pictures. Don't forget to put on anything and send it to your teachers so that we can see all your spirit that you're doing while you're growing your brain at home. Excellent job. All right, now we're going to start today with some shout outs to friends who have been doing such a good job at Spirit Week. Miss Olivia Love had her crazy hat on yesterday. Justin had his crazy hat on. Ella did an awesome job having her hat and her tie-dye because those were our last 2 days' themes. And Miss Ada Ellis put her crazy hat on yesterday too. Thank you to these friends for sending in videos or sending in pictures to your teachers of your spirit. We love to see your faces and we love to see your spirit. So keep texting pictures to your teachers. Nice job. Shout out to these friends. Shout out to the friends who have been celebrating Spirit Week but maybe haven't been sending pictures to your teachers. That's okay if you don't want to, but nice job if you're celebrating with us. I love it. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started right away growing our brains. We're going to practice making inferences. We're going to practice making, and an inference is a guess. An inference is it's a guess. And when we make an inference, we need two things. I want you to pause your video and say what two things we need to make an inference now. All right, you should have said text evidence and schema. We need good. We need text evidence and schema. We need, and schema is what you know. Schema is, nice job. Now we're going to read our inferences sentence stem so that when we have to make a guess based on the text, we can use our sentence stem to help us get the answer right. Take your finger, put it underneath the first word in. We're reading the sentence stem together on 2, 1, 2. In the story, I read blank. So that makes me think blank. Oh, I can't wait to hear us use our inference sentence stem today as we read. With our inferences, we are also going to talk about character traits. We're going to talk about, and remember, a character trait is what a character is like. A character trait is, so in our story, we're going to be reading about characters, and we're going to think, what is that character like? Is that character brave or careful or respectful or friendly or bossy or shy or jealous or hardworking? We're talking about what a character is like. We're talking about, all right, now when we are thinking about character traits, we can also use our inferences sentence stem to help us think about what a character is like. So we're going to read our sentence stem one more time. Put your finger underneath the word in. We're reading together on 2, 1, 2. In the story, I read blank. Ooh, nice hands. So that makes me think blank. Ooh, I can't wait to make some inferences with you today. Some guesses based on the text. All right, let's do some practice. Let's look at number 1. You are going to read number 1 with me. That means when I read, you read. When I read, you read. Thumbs up if you're with me. All right, put your finger underneath the word rose. We're reading together on 2, 1, 2. Rose got the best toys to play with at choice time. Tommy wanted the toys that Rose had instead of his own toys. What character trait could you use to describe Tommy? Tommy wanted all of Rose's toys at choice time. What character trait could you use to describe Tommy? Pause your video and answer the question now. In the text, I read that Tommy wanted Rose's toys instead of his own toys. So that makes me think that Tommy is jealous. Tommy is being jealous, or he's being selfish, or he wants things only for himself. That is not very kind. That is not very generous. Instead, he is being jealous and selfish. He is being, nice job. Those are some character traits to describe Tommy. Let's look at number 2. We're reading number 2. Take your finger, put it underneath the first word. We're reading on 2, 1, 2. There was a new scholar in the first grade class. Whoa. You went over to talk to the new scholar and play with them. What character trait could you use to describe yourself? So there was a new kid in class and you went over to talk to the new kid and help the new kid and play with the new kid. What is a character trait you could use to describe yourself? Pause your video and answer the question now. In the story I read that I went over to talk to the new scholar and play with them. So that makes me think that I am being friendly or I am being kind. Yes, you are being friendly or kind to this new classmate. I love scholars who are friendly and kind. Those are character traits you could use to describe someone who is nice and friendly to a new kid. Nice job, scholars. If you got both those questions correct, give yourself 2 claps and 2 more. Love it. All right, let's go ahead and start reading our text for today. This is one of Miss Rossi's favorite books. It's called Penny the Rude Penguin. Now, the girl's name in the text is Penny. Her name is. And the boy penguin that you see on this picture, his name is Peter. His name is. So we have Penny and Peter. We have. All right, now the name of this text is called Penny the Rude Penguin. So before we even open up the book, what do you think Penny is like? What do you think Penny is like? I want you to pause your video and make an inference of what you think Penny is going to be like in this story. Go ahead and answer that question now. I see that the book is called Penny the Rude Penguin. So that makes me think that Penny is going to be rude in the story. Ooh, I like that inference. I like that prediction. I like that guess. If you guess that Penny is probably going to be a rude penguin in the story. Let's see what happens with Penny and Peter. Remember, friends, I want you to be reading through the words. Please do not guess. Try your very best. Go ahead, pause your video and read through these pages now. Nice job. Go ahead and pause your video and read the words on these pages now. Pause your video and read the words on these pages now. Nice job, friends. Keep going. You can do it. Good endurance. Pause your video and read the words on these pages now. Nice job reading through the words and trying your best. Pause your video and read the words on these pages now. Ooh. Forgot those were our last 2 pages. Nice job. Okay, let's go ahead back to the beginning and use our text evidence and our schema to answer some inferential questions. Okay, first question. What did Penny think was funny? Pause your video and answer that question now. This one comes right from the text. You don't have to make any inferences about this question. It says, Penny the penguin thought watching others fall was funny. So she thought that watching people fall was funny. When Penny said she's sorry, does she mean it? When Penny says she's sorry, does she mean it? Yes or no? No, she doesn't mean it. So my question is, why doesn't Penny mean it when she says she's sorry? Why doesn't she mean it when she says she's sorry? Go ahead and pause your video and answer that question now. In the story I read that Penny thinks watching people fall is funny and she doesn't mean it when she says sorry. So that makes me think that Penny thinks that watching people fall is funny and she wants people to fall so she can laugh. So she's not sorry because she thinks it's funny and she wants people to fall so that she can laugh. It's not very kind, is it, friends? No, no, not very kind. Why did Penny knock over Peter and his family? Why did Penny knock over Peter and his family? Pause your video and answer the question now. In the story I read that she bumped past Peter's family and bumped into them. She thought they looked funny. So that makes me think that Penny knocked over his family because she thought it was funny. Do you think it would be funny to push someone over, my friends? No. All right, let's look at page 6. How do Peter and his family feel when they get knocked over? How do Peter and his family feel? Ooh, we're talking about a character feeling. How do they feel when they get knocked over? Go ahead and pause your video and answer the question now. In this story, I see that his family is upset that they all fell down. So in this story, Peter and his family are sad or upset or frustrated or disappointed that Penny knocked them over, and now Penny is laughing at them. Not very kind. Not very kind. What did Penny do to Peter when they were sliding on their bellies? What did Penny do to Peter when they were sliding on their bellies? Pause your video and answer that question now. In the story I read that Penny slid into Peter and Peter, poof, went into the snow. So when they were sliding on their bellies, Penny slid into Peter and Peter slid into the snow. Is that very kind? No. What character trait could you use to describe Penny on page 7? Penny slid into her friend who slid into the snow. What character trait could you use to describe Penny? Is she kind? Is she generous? Is she rude? Is she mean? Is she jealous? What is a character trait you could use to describe her? Pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, I see that she slid into Peter and pushed him into the snow. That makes me think that she is unkind or mean, or she is a rude, selfish penguin. So you could say unkind, mean, rude, selfish. Yeah, those are things we don't want to be, but that's what Penny's being right now in the story. How does Penny feel when Peter goes into the snow? How does Penny feel when Peter goes into the snow? Pause your video and answer that question now. In the story I read that Penny thought he looked funny. So that makes me think that Penny liked that he went into the snow, or she feels amused. Remember, we learned that word amused. That means you are entertained by something. So she is amused because she's laughing at him and she thinks it's funny. Does Peter think it's funny? No, because she's being mean and unkind to him. Nice job. What happened to Penny when she was on the top of the ice slide? What happened to Penny at the top of the ice slide? Pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, I read that Peter bumped into her and Penny went down the slide and into the ocean. So Peter bumped her and she fell into the water. Do you think Peter did this on purpose or on accident? Pause your video and tell me if you think Peter did this on purpose or on accident. Go ahead and do that now. Peter, in the story, I see that Peter is going like this. Do you think you would purposely push someone and then do this? No, so it was an accident. Peter is upset. He is confused how Penny fell into the ocean. So Peter did this on accident. So let's look at page 10. How does Penny feel when she is the one that gets pushed? How does Penny feel when she is the one that gets pushed? Go ahead and pause your video and answer the question now. In the story, I read that Penny didn't think it was funny. And I see in the story that she's like this. So it makes me think that Penny is sad or disappointed that she got pushed into the water. She is sad or disappointed that she got bumped, but she was bumping everyone else in the story. So let's see what happens. How does Peter feel after he bumps Penny into the water? How does Peter feel? Pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, I read that Peter says, "I'm sorry," and he really does mean it. So that makes me think that Peter is apologetic. Peter feels sorry. Peter feels, or he is disappointed in himself. He is. Nice job. All right, let's go into the last 2 pages. Nice job. How did Penny change? How did Penny change in the story? So think about what Penny thought at the beginning and think about what Penny thinks at the end. How does Penny change in the story? Go ahead and pause your video and answer that question now. In the story I read, that Penny didn't think it was funny anymore, and that she really did mean that she was sorry at the end of the book. So in the beginning of the story, Penny thought knocking people over was funny and she didn't feel bad. At the end of the story, Penny didn't think it was funny anymore because she got knocked over and she really was sorry. So we had a character change. We had yeah, she changed from the beginning of the story to the end of the story. Nice job. My last question is, how do Penny and Peter feel at the end of the story? How do Penny and Peter feel at the end of the story? Go ahead and pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, I see that Penny and Peter are hugging and that Penny really does mean that she's sorry. So that makes me think that they are happy, they are friends again, and they are going to be kind to each other from now on. Nice job. Okay, my challenge question, my bonus question for you today is, do you think you would like to have a friend like Penny? Why or why not? Do you think you would like to have a friend like Penny? Why or why not? Go ahead and pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, I see that Penny was knocking people over and she thought it was funny. So for me, I wouldn't want a friend that thought being mean was funny, but Penny does change in the end. So I like that Penny changed in the end. I would want to be friends with a nice Penny, but Miss Rossi couldn't be friends with someone like mean Penny who is knocking people over and laughing. Raise your hand if you thought you could be friends with Penny. Oh, a couple of us. Nice job. Raise your hand if you think you could not be friends with Penny because she was so unkind. All right, nice participation. Excellent job reading our book about Penny the Rude Penguin today. All right, my last thing. Friends, we have our Zoom party today. Ooh, it is Thursday. So remember, Thursdays at 4 o'clock every single week, we are doing our Zoom party. We are going to be on video. Miss Cherney is going to be running our Zoom. I want to remind you, friends, that you are going to be on mute today in our Zoom party. We have 64 scholars in first grade, and we cannot let everyone be talking at once. Otherwise, we would not be able to hear anyone. So we are going to mute you. So you are going to be muted for some parts of our party today. Some parts of our party, you are not going to be muted, and you can talk to your friends and your classmates and your teachers. But some parts you will be. So please take a deep breath. Please do some breathing. Please get yourself ready to be a part of our Zoom party. We are so excited to see you today at 4 o'clock. We miss you so much. We are proud of your hard work. Please make sure you are getting your Lexia, your Zern done, and your 4 YouTube videos finished today. I know that you can do it. Your teachers love you, and we are so excited to see you there. See you later. Don't forget your jerseys tonight. See you later.